Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. We have a new top for the list. This is an interesting twist, and I wanted to jump into it here for you. And here's the deal. Even if this does not specifically apply to you, it does. And this is how. What I'm talking about here is primarily state benefits. Benefits for you through the state in which you live or the state in which you're planning to move to. So, hang on with me as I go through this. So this is how it relates. That's Stan, for those that don't know, he's my rooster. All right, so how it relates to you, even if this is not the state in which you live, is every state has its own set of benefits for veterans. Why? The reason why is because veterans drive billions of dollars of federal money into the state's ecosystem. The states have a vested interest in retaining you and attracting you to that state. For example, the top 3 states, as far as veteran population is concerned, California, Texas, and Florida, I mean, those are huge states anyway, so by default, they're going to have huge veteran populations. So that's the top 3 states. Collectively, they bring in right around $30 billion per year from the federal government by way of service-connected disability, not to mention retirements, educational benefits, and so forth. So the states have a vested interest. Now, why is this important? Because if this new number 1 state has things offered that your state does not, maybe get with your state legislators and let them know that, you know what, here's a great idea that we should be doing and implementing here in our state for our veterans, right? So let's jump into it. With that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. The 2 asks are really, look, hit the thumbs up, let the video run. Thank you so much to all of you that do that. I really, really appreciate it. Other way you can support the channel is by becoming a member. You can become a member by going to the home page. Man, Stan is on one. So going to the homepage, you'll see highlighted members and a join button. Thank you again. I do my best to get back to you in the comments and acknowledge your comments as well. All right, so let's jump into it. New state tops annual list of best places for military retirees. This is from MOA, and let's see. Do you have any guesses of what the new top state is for retirees? All right, so it is South Carolina took over the top spot in the annual ranking of best states for military retirees by the financial advice website Wallet Hub. In 2023, the winner was Florida. In 2022, it was Virginia. And that's rounding out the top 3 finishers. The list uses more than 2 dozen metrics, pulling economic, healthcare, and quality of life data from a variety of sources, including MOA. And for those that don't know, that's the Military Officers Association of America. South Carolina ranked in the top 10 for each subcategory. South Carolina ranked in the top 10 for each subcategory. 3rd in quality of life, 5th in economic environment, and 9th in healthcare. Other states saw a wider variance in scores. Maryland took 1st in quality of life for retirees, but ranked 32nd in healthcare, for example, leading to a 4th place finish overall. Connecticut ranked 1st in healthcare and 43rd in economic environment, leading to a number 8 finish overall. I'm almost done reading this little piece from MOA. Then I'm going to jump over to another article on South Carolina benefits as a whole. The rankings, which include the District of Columbia, saw Oregon in the last spot for a 2nd straight year. New Mexico took 50th and Vermont finished 49th. And again, that's including District of Columbia. Oregon ranked dead last in the quality of life subcategory, while nearby Washington State was last in healthcare, 46th overall. And California took 51st in economic environment, 41st overall. All right, so now let's jump over to South Carolina veterans benefits. I'm pulling this one up on military.com. Just because they have a nice layout. You can always dig through the state's websites as well to get the firsthand data. In any case, this is last updated was February 6th, 2023 on the military.com website. South Carolina veterans have access to veterans homes. Okay, I believe all states do, but South Carolina has 5 veterans homes, which is actually a pretty sizable number of homes considering the population. The homes are in Anderson, Columbia, Waterboro, Florence, and Gaffney. Honorably discharged South Carolina resident veterans who are in need of skilled or intermediate nursing home care are eligible for admission. There's also the South Carolina Veterans Financial Benefits, such as income tax, active duty pay is taxable, Reserve and National Guard drill pay is tax-free. Interesting. So if you are a reservist in either the National Guard or Reserves, your drill pay is tax-free. Effective in 2022, all military retirement is tax-free. All, not a portion. Some states will tax your military retirement. Some states will tax a portion of it up to a certain amount or over a certain amount. Maybe the first $10,000 you receive is tax-free. After that, you have to pay taxes on it. Here in South Carolina, all military retirement is tax-free. Property taxes for disabled veterans, permanently and totally disabled veterans are eligible for a homestead tax deduction and a total exemption of property tax on their homes. This exemption can transfer to a surviving spouse and may also transfer to a new home. South Carolina veterans employment benefits include veterans preference. Honorably discharged veterans are given preference for state and public jobs. Credit of state retirement for military service. All right, this is an important one. If you are actually looking to move or live, if you currently live or you're planning to move to South Carolina and you have some military service, let's read this. State employees called to or returning to active duty may continue with the state's retirement program if they continue to make payments as normal. State employees can buy credit towards state retirement based on their military time. So, for example, if you did 4 years, and I don't know it exactly for this state, but just to give an example of how that works, if you have 4 years, 6 years, whatever, with the military, you can buy that amount of time back from your state retirement. So, in other words, it can be expensive, and you can typically do payment plans that exceed far out from how much time you're buying. So you, for example, would probably be able to buy back, let's say, a 4-year block of time, and let's say that cost you, based on the dollar amount that you're making, let's say it cost you $10,000 per year you're buying back. Well, that's $40,000. You could take that $40,000 and you could potentially make payments over a 15-year time frame if that's the time frame that you're looking to actually retire and buy back 4 years more toward time. Anyway, so you can talk with your HR folks about that. Moving on, South Carolina, free tuition for children of certain veterans. Tuition is free at state institutions for children of South Carolina veterans who died in service as a result of their service, are permanently and totally disabled, or were awarded the Purple Heart or Medal of Honor. So you have 4 different ways to get that free tuition. Again, this is it says veterans who for tuition is free at state institutions for children of South Carolina veterans. So you either need to live in South Carolina or passed away in South Carolina. Veterans who died in service as a result of their service, so that could be overseas in combat, or you are permanently and totally disabled, or you were awarded the Purple Heart or the Medal of Honor. Next, South Carolina Veterans Recreation Benefits, disabled veterans hunting and fishing licenses. South Carolina resident veterans who are totally disabled can get a free hunting and fishing license. In some states it's less. It's maybe you have a 50% or even any percentage rating. You can get those for free. But in South Carolina you have to be totally disabled in order to get that free hunting and fishing license. With that, let's move on. Active duty hunting and fishing licenses. South Carolina residents home on leave can hunt and fish for free. Active duty non-residents stationed in South Carolina can get hunting and fishing licenses for the resident rate. State Park Administration for Disabled Veterans. South Carolina permanently and totally disabled veterans can enter any state park at a reduced fee or rate. Certain services may require an additional fee. South Carolina Veterans Cemetery, the M.J. Dolly Cooper Veteran Cemetery is located in Anderson. Burial is open to honorably discharged South Carolina resident veterans and their spouses. There is no charge for the veteran's burial and a small fee for the spouse. Dependent children may be eligible for burial. You can visit the South Carolina Division of Veterans Affairs website for contact information and benefits assistance. Remember that veteran cemeteries, typically we think of the national cemeteries ran by the VA. The states also function veteran cemeteries, and they basically mirror the national kind of footprint of what a cemetery should look and feel like for our veterans. So as you go look at one of those, you're not really going to feel a difference. It's going to feel very very military, very, very veteran appropriate. Moving on. This is a little disclaimer at the bottom from military.com, and I just wanted to read it for you since this is where I'm getting the information. It says, stay on top of your veterans' benefits. Military benefits are always changing. Keep up with everything from pay to health care by subscribing to military.com and get access to up-to-date pay charts and more with the latest benefits delivered straight to your inbox. If you don't. And if you don't do that, you can watch this because I'll pick things out here and there. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.